Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in and joining us for practice. It's a cold and rainy day for uh, in this area. Depends on where you're signing in from. So it's a good day to be connecting in this amazing platform it's turned out to be. Zoom. It's a really supportive way for us to get together without having to um, travel long distances to sit together. Oh, welcome. Hmm. I was having, I was going to say having tea. It was coffee with a friend the other day, and I think we were talking about many things, but about the aversion to death and dying. I'm also a end of life doula, a death doula, and was with the family on the weekend, supporting them in that transition. And um, person I was visiting with after the fact. Thanks to you, Monica, for this little image. It just really stood out for me, where she did this gesture and recalled the saying you've likely heard: "What persists, what what we resist persists." This relationship between persisting and resisting, but just a visual of that, this really landed with me. I've heard that phrase before, and it's what's the word? Oh, there's a word there. Attributed to Carl Jung, who apparently said that what you resist persists, stays, lasts. And not only does it persist, but it will grow or return stronger, apparently, he said. And I was thinking about this relationship of, what we resist persists, but also if we notice something is persisting, really sticking, something feels really hooked, sticky, uh, it seems permanent. And this could be, about ourselves. I've always been this way. I'm always going to be this way. There's that sense of something persisting, or other people. They've always been that way. They're always going to be that way. Or something about life in general. This is how it is. It's always been this way. That kind of feeling and thoughts mm, shows us that something is feeling persistent, sticky, solid, permanent, ongoing. And when we have noticed those thoughts or those feelings or those sensations in the body, we could turn some curiosity towards it to see if, to get curious, if something feels really stuck, where are we resisting? What is the resistance? How are we reinforcing its sense of permanence? So both of these elements uh, reinforce and mm, make something grow, a state of mind, a state of heart, a state of body. And if you've already been exploring or are beginning to explore what's called anicca in the Dharma, this is one of the three characteristics of all things: impermanence. When we apply insight to and dharma to really looking closely and seeing things without resistance, we see it's all impermanent, ephemeral, arising, passing, conditioned phenomenon. All the thoughts, the sensations, the personality, the emotions, everything, the weather, even things that seem the most solid and permanent, like Mount Everest. The size is changing all the time. I think it's actually growing because the tectonic plates are making it higher, but it could be going the other direction. I'm not sure. But point is, even the most solid, permanent things are also changing. You know, even something like this metal meditation bowl, it's going to rust, it's going to crumble, it's going to fall apart. It came together from many conditioned infinite variables and will follow that pattern into dissolution. Um, and so when we really look closely and have these insights, Vipassana, seeing in a particular way, these three characteristics that all things are impermanent, arising, passing, ephemeral, flowing. And another one of these three characteristics is that it's all interconnected, interbeing. There's nothing separate, permanent, isolated, including this self. Everything is totally interbeing, co-creating all these conditioned phenomenon. And because of these two characteristics of impermanence and interconnectedness, or non-self, there's we see and have the insight that there's nothing to be clung to. Uh, this is dukkha, the third characteristic, that it's all changing. And if we're holding on to how we want things to be, or the same way, holding on to push away how we don't want things to be, it's the same, clinging, um, that's where the resistance comes, the dukkha. Uh, and so when things seem, yeah, have this characteristics of persistence, if something seems stuck, we could stop and ask ourselves, well, where's the resistance here? What am I fighting against, not wanting, pushing away, clinging to? Um, and this kind of investigation of looking more deeply underneath the causes and conditions is part of wise effort on the Eightfold Path, the middle path to the ending of dukkha. Uh, and sometimes we can have uh, kind of magical thinking about things. If I avoid it, if I don't think about it, if I use all my avoidance techniques, of which we all have many, I'm sure we could spend some time listing them, but hopefully this stage of life, you have avoidance um, habits. Uh, and we can have this maybe unconscious magical thinking. If I avoid it, it will go away. If I don't think about it, don't pay attention to it, just stay numb or stay busy, this will go away. That's the resisting part, right? And it can also show up in really subtle ways in our meditation practice very frequently. It can be so subtle, like even with people with a really long and deep practice, and they have a lot of tools and a lot of skillful, wise actions and wise efforts. Uh, could be as subtle as something like too quickly applying metta or loving kindness or Brahma Vihara meditation practice. If it's kind of done to try and fix something, to make it go away, uh, or to bypass feeling something difficult, this is another way that that kind of magical thinking of persisting and resisting can show up, where we a little bit too quickly might be constantly fixing ourselves, fixing the mind states, fixing whatever is arising. And this is another way of resisting, causing persisting. It's pretty difficult to notice that ourselves. It can often be helpful to have a teacher or have a meeting with someone to talk about your practice and check in. And sometimes it might reveal itself there in those more subtle ways. uh, it's like this whole idea of not thinking about something will make it go away is like the classic right now. Do not think about a pink elephant. Don't picture a pink elephant. Don't even think about the color pink or remember what the color pink or elephants. And even though you've never seen a pink elephant, maybe in a comic book or something like a illustration book, we could still picture a pink elephant. The mind can just conjure up a pink elephant. And right now, as these words and thoughts are coming through, you can't not think about a pink elephant. And this is that related to this kind of magical thinking. If I avoid it, it will go away. And of course, it doesn't. uh, and so we have so many skillful tools. Um, Vipassana teacher Michelle McDonald is the one credited with the arising of the acronym RAIN, which many of you have heard of and practiced with. RAIN acronym, popularized by Tara Brach, who changed it a little bit, changed the N part. So the RAIN practice, which is a really helpful, accessible tool for many, many applications. The R of RAIN is to recognize. Recognize what's here rather than resisting it and pushing it away, is turn towards it and name it like, oh, there's a lot of ill will today, or a lot of desire, a lot of delusion, whatever it is. Um, to name it, recognize it. And so this is part of recognizing is, and then yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Then the A of the RAIN practice is to accept. So this is like the opposite of resisting, obviously. Accepting is like let it have some space, some breathing room. If you're constantly pushing on something, it persists and it grows stronger. So just relaxing the body, relaxing the tension, relaxing the mind, making inviting some space to accept, this is here. And this is accepting reality. How could it be any other way? It is like this right now. And this doesn't have to be terrifying when we understand everything is impermanent. It's only terrifying if we think, if I accept it, that's going to make it really stick. No, it's not so. If we resist it, it will stick and grow, persist and grow. So the accepting is allowing it to be known. Ah, this is here, needs some care and attention. Soften around it, get a little bit more spacious, allowing. So the A sometimes is allow or accept. The I of the RAIN acronym is investigate. This might include, in terms of mindfulness and body, where do I feel this grief? What is this I'm calling restlessness? Where do I feel that in the body? What kind of sensation is it? It also might include investigating the causes and conditions that have given rise to it, or keeping it fueled, keeping it sticking, as I talked about before. Um, this investigation is called Dhammavicaya in the Seven Factors of Awakening, and it's a really, really important factor to turn curiosity. It's not, this is another place that subtle magical thinking can show up. It's not investigating so you can figure it out or investigating so you can get rid of it, which often we do it that way, right? We're like, let me figure this out, which underneath it is really like, so I can get rid of it. And the investigation here in this quality is just curiosity. What is this that I'm calling whatever it is? Fill in the blank for whatever is up for us. What does it feel like? Watch its nature. Oh, it's arising and passing, actually. It has a flow to it. It's maybe getting more intense or less intense. Lots to explore in there. And then the N of the RAIN acronym is non-identify. Tara Brach changed it to nature, which some people find is more helpful. Non-identify is pointing towards what I referred to, those three characteristics of all things, that it's not personal. It's not just me and mine. It's vast, interconnected, complex, conditioned arising. It's not just me, right? Which is a permanent, a confused state of feeling separate and permanent and isolated. That's how I am. That's identifying. The N of RAIN acronym is non-identifying, like seeing, okay, I see that's a conditioned arising. I can hear whose voice that is playing in my mind. I can see how that was triggered today. And in that way, we're loosening this identification with it. It's beautiful. It's pouring rain out here right now, so I'm appreciating this RAIN acronym in light of this weather system that's blowing through in the moment. Um, yeah, so this RAIN acronym, I think, is a direct, skillful antidote to resist what resists persists, and not only persists but grows. And is really applicable in daily life, but very much so in our meditation practice as well. Hmm. Just see if there's anything else I want to add. I don't think so. Yeah, that's it. Hmm. That was a little side thought. Sorry, you lost me there for a moment. I was thinking about, I can't keep anything from you. I was thinking about this gesture that my friend had done of resist, persist, and like what would be a hand gesture for this RAIN acronym, of accepting, to recognize and open, accept and investigate. None of it, I don't know, it just feels like just open hands that are curious and uh, receptive. That was a little sidetrack. So let's practice. Yes. Okay, adjusting your space and your posture. Mm. So as you're taking time to adjust your posture or your lighting or your space, whether or not you want to practice laying down or sitting or standing, uh, take your time to bring in any supports that you need. See if you need any movements or stretches or adjustments so that you're not just quickly forcing your body into stillness, but really taking your time so that when stillness arises, the body feels ready and is receptive to that stillness. And then find a posture for your eyes that feels supportive for your practice tonight, whether it's the eyes resting down and closed or down and slightly open, or the eyes resting on an object that is uh, has some stillness or ease, peacefulness for you. And then we begin to just meet this body that is always pointing to the present moment, always in the present moment, mindfulness of body. So kind of like the light of awareness gently traveling over and down the body, through the body, looking with curiosity for any areas of habit tension. So you might begin by feeling the muscles of the face, letting the face relax, widen, soften, drape. And feel that invitation sliding across the shoulders, down the neck as these muscles from the back of the ears lengthen and the shoulders slide down. Find it helpful to take a few slightly deeper breaths to feel some movement in the area of the chest, the belly, the ribs, the back, especially if we've been feeling tight or constricted or tense in these areas. And then letting the breath return again to a natural breath. I find it helpful to check in with the deep inner layers of the belly muscles when we've been stressed or activated, fight or flight or freeze. These deep inner belly muscles contract and press on the vagus nerve, which keep that tension activated and cycling. So see if deep in towards the center of the body, some degree of softening could be felt. And as the upper body begins and continues relaxing, softening, widening, we now can begin to feel more presence with the parts of the body making contact with the ground, the hands resting on the lap, the seat in a chair, or the back of the body on a couch if you're laying down, the feet, legs. Noticing if there's any tension that's holding us up and away from that support of the ground. The earth is waiting there to hold you. And now drawing some energy, uprightness, and wakefulness up through your spine, up through the back of the body. This is this upward, energizing, strengthening energy of Sila, your ethics, your values that guide you. Might be the 5 lay precepts or interbeing contracts, or you might have your own values that resonate for you. As we can undertake and continue these trainings to refrain from taking life and causing harm, feel that strengthen your back. As we continue these trainings to refrain from speaking falsely and harshly, causing harm with our words. As we undertake and continue this training to refrain from taking more than is freely offered to us. And to refrain from causing harm with our sense doors, our sensuality and our sexuality. And lastly, to refrain from harm caused from intoxicants, from lack of mindfulness that leads to some of these other harmful behaviors to ourselves and others. So feel that you're energetically signing these contracts of uprightness, morality, that give you this strong back. Which then allows you to have a soft front in how you meet the world. Soft face, hands, belly, heart. So now as the body is becoming prepared for the practice, we choose an anchor that the practice is supported by having a canvas, a ground, an anchor on which we can see these all things arising and passing. So we choose an anchor that we return to, that we cultivate as this canvas. It might be the sensation of your breath at a chosen point, arising and passing, the sensations. If you don't find the breath a helpful anchor, you could choose just the sensation of your hands where they're resting. Sensations arising and passing and changing in the hands. And some people find it helpful to work with hearing meditation, sounds arising, passing. So just choosing one anchor now for the remainder of this practice. And then turn up the dial of curiosity with that anchor. Bring up the brightness so that you're really noticing each momentary sensation changing, sounds coming and going, or sensations coming and going, moment by moment. When we notice attention has moved away from the anchor you've chosen, gently begin again. If you notice that attention is repeatedly or several times moving to something that feels like the same thought, something you're hooked on, something that feels really sticky, something that feels like it's persisting, then you might turn towards this rain practice. See if you could recognize what's here. Is it frustration, grief, planning, worrying, anger, desire? What is the flavor of of this stickiness. If it doesn't feel like something's really up for you right now, you could just open this into a bit of reflection on if there's been something kind of sticky lately troubling you. Recognize it. What is it? Give it a name. And then A, accept or allow. This is here. This is here. And give it some space to be. It's like this right now. So that gives you some space to investigate it. What is this I'm calling my busy mind or my grief or whatever the flavor is? Where is it? What's the sensation? Where do I feel it? What's it like? How do I know this is what's up? What am I feeling? A little bit of curiosity with it. Whose voice is it that I'm hearing in my head? Is that an old voice from someone else? Investigate. Oh, what triggered this stickiness? What happened? And then lastly, the real liberating part of rain is the non-identifying. Just seeing that this is a conditioned arising, influenced by many variables beyond my conceiving and knowing and controlling. And it's impermanent. It's not me and mine. And then after a few moments with that rain acronym exploration, you could return to your anchor and rest there again. Let's continue together in silence. you for practicing with us and wish you peace and skillful rain. Take care.